Welcome to the OnlyFans Secrets Marketing Podcast. The goal of this podcast is to help both new and established OnlyFans creators learn the basics of online branding, marketing, and promotion to help you make more money with your content and maximize your time online. My name is Richard Lewis, and I have over 20 years of internet marketing experience. So let's get started with today's topic. And that topic is how to avoid sabotaging your success on OnlyFans. Okay, so this week's episode is about sabotage. As OnlyFans creators, you may be doing things unintentionally that are sabotaging your success. Putting it another way, you may be snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. So I'm going to list out 11 common ways creators are hurting themselves on the platform currently. And if you are doing any of these 11, it's time to reverse course and make some changes. So I'll jump right into them. Number 1, beating social media dead horses. So I am sure you've heard the expression, beating a dead horse, which basically means that you're trying something over and over again that's just not working. Now, for me, I believe in, finding that one social media network that you can build out on. But what happens is that for a lot of people, they, a few years back decided on a social media platform that they really like. And what they do is they go, okay, well, I'm on Instagram, so I don't need to get on any other platforms. This is the platform for me. So they basically put blinders on to all the other platforms. So in this way, you're not just picking like one social media channel that works, for what you're trying to do with OnlyFans. You're picking the social media channel that you're most familiar with. Now, the problem here is that you're not branching out to new areas. So if I'm usually picking on Instagram on this podcast, so I'll continue that way. Now, Instagram is a very successful social media platform, with 1 billion supposed users. But, where are they going to get their next billion from? And that's the big question there. So, when new social media platforms come out, like Discord or Telegram or anything that's new, people are highly engaged with those. I like to think that people go through what I call zombie mode when it comes to a popular social media site like Instagram. So right now you have people who are following you and you post something on Instagram and you get a like. And they're just basically liking because they're in that mode to go through and say like. Does that mean that they're taking a lot of action? Does that mean that they're going to all of a sudden now look at you and say, this is the moment where I'm going to subscribe to their OnlyFans page? Probably not. But if you're on some of the newer platforms, because of the high engagement, you're going to get newer people who might not necessarily have been on that other platform, but as well as just people who are willing to look at you anew. Now, I'm not saying that you have to be on the latest platform. I'm a big proponent of Reddit and Twitter and a lot of, older platforms as well. But for a lot of people, what happens is that they stick to that one thing. They say, okay, I have 100,000 karma on Reddit. That's just going to ride this out. And, you have to ask yourself, are you branching out enough to potentially new subscribers by doing it that way? And for a lot of people, I would say no. So if you're right now, you've been on the same social media platform that you decided was the one for you, and it's not producing the amount of new clients to your OnlyFans or just new followers, ask yourself, is it because you have become, comfortably numb with that social media platform, and as well as all your followers are sort of comfortably numb? They're not taking the action that you want them to. So you want to make sure not to beat social media dead horses. Number 2, being bored and boring. So, the big thing to remember, having an OnlyFans page means that you are in the entertainment business. And the key word to that is entertain. So if you are basically bored with what you are doing, it's going to reflect out to your customers, to your clients, to your subscribers, to the people who are tipping you. They're going to notice that you're bored. And, obviously we did a whole episode about, making sure to, prevent burnout on the platform, which I feel you should check out if you are hitting that point with burnout. But the easiest way to not be burned out is to start things that are new, to switch things up a bit. Successful promoters like P.T. Barnum, he knew that he needed to switch things up constantly. People have very short attention spans. Now, you want to switch things up, but not so much that you alienate your core audience. So you don't want to be constantly switching things up because you're going to lose the people who, are used to and like the stable content that you're providing. But again, there are ways of going about making things different and new. So you definitely don't want to bore yourself with what you're doing, because that's going to play out for your clients and customers, and they're going to end up leaving because they want it to be entertained. So find ways that you can profitably entertain them in a way that you also will enjoy what you're doing. All right, number 3, mixing up your promotion and marketing messages. So this one's a little bit more complicated. Basically, I've talked about, cultivating your brand image, that those who succeed on OnlyFans do so by branding. It might not necessarily seem that way, but that's what people are buying. They are buying the brand of you. They are buying your persona that you are showing them, and they're interested in that persona. So therefore they subscribe to you because they want to see more of that. What's the next thing that this interesting person that I'm interested in is going to do? If basically you showed all your cards and you're uninteresting, why do they need to subscribe? Why do they need to see the next piece of content that you're producing? So basically, when I say mixing up your promotion and marketing messages, it means basically you want to make sure that your marketing and promotion messages are consistent. For a lot of people, what will happen is they will go ahead and have an image, and I'll just use, say like they are an innocent cosplayer. I'm just using an example. Okay, so their whole image is about being, somebody who, dresses up in cosplay outfits that are seen more as, innocent. And then an opportunity comes along where, a company says, hey, we're going to send you, erotic cosplay outfits and for free. And as long as you just model them. And I'm just using this as an example. So then you say, oh, okay, this is free. I can't pass this opportunity up. And so now all of a sudden you start posting a lot of non-innocent cosplay outfits. Now, remember, your market was the innocent cosplay people, the people who wanted to see that. Now you might gain a few people from this, erotic cosplay, more provocative cosplay that you're doing, but you've alienated the people at your core of your business. And so who are you now? You're a generalist. You're no longer the niche person. You're no longer the interesting person that these people are subscribing to, and you actually lose subscribers because your promotion and marketing message has to stick with your brand. So it has to play out that way. And no matter how lucrative an opportunity might appear, and you might think, oh, okay, well, I'll gain this whole new audience, or, things will go better for me because right now I'm stagnating. So let's go ahead and branch out a little bit. But you're ending up, mixing up that message. And so people don't know how to identify you. So then when somebody else comes along and they're just back in that niche, they might leave you and go and subscribe to that person. So you want to make sure that your brand, your promotion, and marketing messages are all in line consistently with each other. All right, number 4. This is what I call the quick buck hustler route that backfires. So for a lot of people, what they do is they look at OnlyFans as a giant cash machine. It's a cash cow, and all the people on it, are, piggy banks. And they don't realize that the amount of the market that actually is interested in that is very small. So when they start, they might get a lot of attention for, okay, I'm coming in and I just am all about money. You're creating a persona that relies more on money than personality. But, there's that small market that's interested in that. But once that market dries up and they've seen all they want to see of you, now you have alienated the rest of the marketplace, because who are you? Again, only this small sliver of people are interested in you because of money. And the whole concept of money can put a lot of people off. But that seems to be how a lot of people start OnlyFans, is like, okay, I was told if I go, the financial domination route, or the disrespectful route towards the subscribers, then I'm going to make a whole bunch of money. Now, some people certainly do, and that is a niche, but it's not a niche for every single person. A few months ago, it was being noted across Twitter that every single person was becoming what is called a financial dominant, regardless, because somebody told them this is a great way. Someone will just give you money for doing absolutely nothing. I mean, who wouldn't want that? I mean, that sounds great. But again, if you are doing that, you have the potential to sabotage yourself. So you would have to reinvent yourself completely again if this doesn't work out. So if that one narrow market doesn't work out for you, as I mentioned, you'll alienate a lot of other people. So you really have to make sure that you want to go the quick buck hustler route before you start it. There's basically a whole bunch of other markets and niches and personas that you can do besides this one that will not alienate people or rub the majority of potential customers the wrong way. Okay, number 5, starting your OnlyFans page too soon. Now, this doesn't necessarily apply to everyone, but if you went ahead and you got going on your OnlyFans page and you had zero experience with the industry or marketing to that industry, it's going to be a long haul. And, the reason is because at the core, you have to answer these 3 questions in order to be successful at any venture. Number 1, what am I selling? Number 2, what is the demand? And number 3, what people are going to buy it or pay for it? So for a lot of people, they will start an OnlyFans page without answering any of these questions. And they don't know their customer. They don't know who they're targeting. For a lot of people who started their OnlyFans page after selling content online for a while, after being more aware of the industry, or just even having, a premium Snapchat or a Snapchat, where they talked to different people who are interested in content, they had a huge advantage because they already had an idea of what they were going to go out and start their OnlyFans for, and what they were going to sell on that OnlyFans, how much they were used to getting for that, and they knew their demand. They knew the demand of their market. So if you're not able to figure out, what your customer is going to want, you're going to have a hard time attracting them. So when I speak of too soon, it doesn't mean that you didn't have enough content to create that OnlyFans page. It means that you didn't do any research ahead of time to figure out what your market was going to be. And so you start your OnlyFans. Maybe it starts quickly and then it starts to fade, or maybe it never takes off to begin with. And I think that a lot of people could use, the 1 or 2 months on OnlyFans, with a free account, just figuring these questions out. And if you haven't figured these questions out, you are definitely sabotaging your success on the platform. All right, number 6, always looking at the most successful creators. Now, I've definitely gone over this before in previous podcasts about how to look at the people who are successful on OnlyFans, and how you don't want to, compare yourself directly with those people. You want to basically benchmark where they were at the same time in the process of where you are right now. So you look at when they started, how fast did they